Hi everyone. This is another songwriting exercise that I use sometimes, and it's called The Ants Go Marching. It's a pretty popular childhood song that I think a lot of us know, to the tune of a song from, I think, World War I, called When Johnny Comes Marching Home Again. And the chords that I use in this song are fairly elementary. I had a student recently play some chords for me that sounded much better, and I'm sure that were the correct ones, but these ones are simple and they're easy to use. It's basically the song is in E minor, but it has the G, it has the third that's major. So anyway, here it is. I'm just gonna sing through a couple of the verses and then I'll do a little explanation. Marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two. The little one stops to tie his. And they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain, the rain, the rain. The ants go marching three by three, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three. The little one stops to climb a tree. And they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain, the rain, the rain. Alright, and I'm just going to end the song now. And they all go marching down. Okay. So, the basic idea behind this songwriting exercise should be obvious, but basically it's for the people who you're working with to come up with a rhyme. And that's not always going to happen, and there are many ways that you can validate people's responses and still try to get a correct one. So in a couple of my other posts, I talked a little bit about language awareness and how when we do these rhyming activities, it's not so that somebody says the perfect thing all of the time. It's basically it's to maintain their language awareness. And when they say things that don't rhyme, like if you say the ants go marching one by one, the little one stops too, and you give them that room to respond, it's possible that somebody will say, tie his shoe. And that's fine. And you say, excellent, fabulous, wonderful. And hopefully that person feels good about the suggestion they made. But basically, due to your your physical cues and things that you're doing, including the volume of your voice, the people probably will sort of get the rhyme. The reason that I pause in the middle and at the end of the verses when I say the ants go marching two by two, the little one stops too. There's a question there at the end, and because I left that space in the middle of the verse, it should be clear to the people around you, to people who are listening, that the rhyme should have to do with the word two, so that they can hear you. And the reason that I leave so much space in the guitar is so that people can hear me without me having to scream. So there are a couple of different ways you can do this. You can say at the very beginning, you can say the ants go marching one by one, the little one stops to suck his, and people are going to say thumb. But often what will happen is that if somebody has another suggestion, they'll say, like, there's one woman I work with who always likes to say, shoot his gun. And it's funny, and people enjoy it. It might not be the most appropriate, but it is funny, and she feels good when she says that. And so if somebody says something else, if you hear somebody across the room give another suggestion, then it's perfectly fine for you to say, oh, fabulous. Robin said, shoot his gun, and that's great. And so, welcoming everybody's input is something that's important. Another thing that you can do is you can, when you move on in the song, if you're saying the ants go marching 2 by 2, somebody might not answer with tie his shoe or say how do you do, or whatever the rhyme is that they're thinking. And so you can give them a prompt rather than saying the whole verse. You can do what you did with the first one, which is the ants go marching one by one, the little one stops to suck his thumb. Or you could say just the ants go marching 2 by 2, the little one stops to, and see what people say. And if they don't say anything after that, if you've just got silence, then you can always repeat that. Not with the music necessarily, but say, okay, so the ants go marching 2 by 2, the little one stops to, so that it's more verbal instead of in the song. Because sometimes the music, the guitar music, the drums that the residents will hopefully be playing for this exercise get in the way of people hearing certain words. So that's another option. That's the other thing that I wanted to talk about with this song, is that the drums are really important. The song, as you know, it takes on different tempo changes, and that's one of the main reasons that we have drums for this song, is that it challenges people's minds, and they need to be able to pay attention to your cues. And so when you're in the middle of a group of 15 or 20 people, which is sometimes the case, having large physical movements to try to cue people when to slow down, when to get softer, and then obviously the very rhythmic guitar to help people know where the rhythm is, which hopefully your physical movements will be paired with. Anyway, that's really all I have to say. I'll put the chords in the information section, but it's basically E minor, G, A minor, and B7. And if you're trying to play along with this and you notice that your guitar is sounding different than mine, it's possibly because my guitar is usually tuned down a little bit. So I apologize if that's a problem. Anyway, have a good night. Thanks.